Welcome back to Bioship Your Game. I'm David, and today I look back at Wave 18's Bioship Beta. This is another Bioship for species 8472. This one went defensive, and as defensive as you can get when you have 6 attack dice. 11 durability, 5 hull, 6 shields, 2 defense dice, and when defending during the compare results step, you may cancel one hit result. If you do so, you take an Ox Power token. That is a win defending ability, so you can do that every time you get attacked in a round. You're just going to have Ox Power and probably never get another action, so choice is yours there. But I do like it because it's not disable shields, it's just take the Ox Power. If you're okay with that, you can make it work. Now, there are ways around this. You can run like auxiliary control room, power grid. You can find a way to get a crew slot on there. You can use there's a Breen Tech, I think, that gets some extra crew slots. You could do it that way. This is a ship I find myself wanting to put like reinforced hull, reinforced shielding, anything that gives me some extra durability, because it's already a ship that's meant to be survivable. And if I have some extra survivability, I almost don't care that I'm going to take extra auxiliary power. I can kind of mitigate that. I just want to I want to live longer so that I can use my 6 attack dice to put in even one more attack, because that's going to hurt almost no matter what happens with the roll. Bioships, somewhat maneuverable. I'm kind of falling out of favor with them because with only a 90 forward arc, no rear arc, it doesn't make a lot of sense to put most weapons on the ship. Maybe put a 360 weapon on there, but then I feel like I'm losing so much in regards to the dice output, and I can't really get great quality on my Bioship. And if I do, I'm spending way too many points. I'm going to hit 50 points way too fast. And it's tough to make use of this maneuver dial. I know it's a fairly standard one, but it feels almost like a Kraxon, a Galler class maneuver dial, just without the 180 arc. So I don't get a ton of benefit from it. The generic still needs a reprice. I do appreciate 3 tech slots on a generic Bioship. That's what I tend to run more, and I can still put on all my extra fancy durability increases. That's kind of the fun part for me. Bioship Beta Pilot is a 6.8 skill talented captain. When attacking during the modified attack dice step, you may reroll one of your blank results. I mean, that much is cool. Not going to be super impressive and probably not worth paying 6 points for, but, that's okay. Then we get the extra benefit. If your ship was just destroyed and another friendly ship's within range 1 to 2 of your ship, you may replace that ship's captain card with this card. If this captain card fielded an elite talent upgrade, you may assign that upgrade to the new ship as well, if possible. So there is something to be said for running this, because you do get to transfer skill 8 around. That means if you run a captain like a Calvin Hudson, a low skill captain, and you ran him to get, a discount or some initial benefit, but now you want the captain skill, you have a choice. Talents you could bring in to continue to make use of, something like the Lone Hunt would be cool, because you're getting a passive bonus every time. You could bring in like cunning or calculating. That might only go on Romulan ships, but there's some cool alliance talents to bring in. I don't know. There's some talents that transfer that might be useful. Then we have telepathy. This is a 4-point talent. You may discard this card immediately before you move in order to change your maneuver for that round. I've never been a massive fan of cards like this. One thing that would help it is to have time tokens instead of a discard. If I'm going to use it, let me do it more than once. Even then, like, I don't need it a bunch. Like, pretty much my maneuver is my maneuver. I'm happy with it. I'll live with the consequences if I'm not. And I just don't find myself needing to move or change my maneuver right before I move. Energy Blast gets me 8 dice. The downside is I got to pay 8 points. And this is a card that, like Multi-Vector Assault Mode, just needs a rethink. But spend your target lock, discard this card, and you can only put it on a Bioship. So there's no quality on my 8 dice. I struggle to pay 8 points to get 2 more dice, and I have to give up quality. It's not worth it. Knowing what ship this is on, 2 more dice. Yes, getting to 8 is massive, but 2 more dice is worth at most 4 points to me. At most. Probably less. And the fact that I have to give up quality. It's just not great. Biological Weapon is 6 points for 5 dice, so I'm paying to lose a die. And we're going to attack, discard the card. If it hits, in addition to normal damage, we're going to discard a crew upgrade from of my choice on the defending ship for each battle station result. So now I'm hoping to roll poorly, but good enough to inflict damage. And this upgrade can only be purchased for a Bioship. Again, too expensive. I like the concept. The problem is most of the time those crew are being used to help the ship not take the damage. I guess in a scenario where I know I'm up against Borg, I'm okay with this because the Borg don't roll defense dice, and so 5 dice is going to get in there. Borg crew don't really help with defense, but they help with offense, and there are enough Borg that I want to get rid of. But it's still... I want to like just sneak into range 3 and then use this. I also don't like that it's a max of 2. I think if I can hit with 2 hits and have 3 battle stations on my ship, I should be able to get rid of 3 crew, or even hit 1 and get rid of 4 crew. I don't like artificial maximums there. Biogenic Field, 6 points. If you're getting the idea that Species 8472 stuff is just really expensive, yeah, you're right. When defending, you roll +1 defense die, +3 against a Borg ship. Thematic. In addition, when an enemy card ability affects one of your cards, roll 1 attack die, 3 against Borg card ability. If you roll a battle station result, the card effect is canceled. So, again, in a mission, I probably want this. Other than that, I don't see it getting played. And that's just the full truth of it. It's kind of if I know what I'm up against, I know I'm up against a Borg ship, and I can run species tech to cancel it, I have a chance. But even then, 3 dice to roll a battle station? There's a chance. Still not a good one. Then we have Fluidic Space, and this is a warp jump-like effect, so you can't play it in organized play. 6 points. Instead of making a normal move, you may discard this card to remove your ship from the play area and immediately place it back in play, but not within range 1 to 2 of any other ship. Can't attack, can't perform actions on the round to use this ability. Yeah, it's fine. The downside is you could place your ship back, and then based on how people move, you could actually find yourself being attacked the round you use this, which A, doesn't feel thematic, and B, has feel bad connected to it. I don't see this getting used at all. It breaks missions. It can't be used in organized play, so you're kind of stuck with just casual games, and casual games, it just doesn't work. It's not a friendly, nice card, so why are you using it? Biological technology. This is a card that got a little bit of play when it came out. It's a 5-point tech. Place 1 mission token on this card at the start of each planning phase. When attacking, you may spend up to 2 of these tokens to add an equal number of attack dice. When defending, you may spend up to 2 of these tokens to add equal number of defense dice. So, yeah, it got used for the attack portion mostly. I guess there's a time to run it for defense, but mostly it's attack because we're trying to attack the opponent. It's called attack wing, not defense wing. And yeah, I like that this is passive. It just happens. And the longer that initial engagement takes, the more of these tokens you're going to have ready to go, and just be able to go, okay, I'm attacking 2. Okay, I'm attacking 2. If you can find a way to make multiple attacks, you can unload tokens 2 by 2 by 2 on every attack. So it's something to consider, but there is just a natural limit to these because most games aren't going more than 8-10 rounds at most. Yeah, so still cool card. I like it. And I think it still has play today. It's expensive, but it does help Bioship be even more potent. Then we have Electrodynamic Fluid. This is the last card here. It's 5-point tech. And for an action, you discard this card to immediately perform a second maneuver from your maneuver dial with a speed of 3 or less, which is cool. You can do turns. Or you can action disable this card to perform a sensor echo action, even if your ship is not cloaked. I like it as kind of a get out of jail free card. Being able to get an extra move is pretty potent. The downside is it's basically a one-time use. I would only ever use this card to do an extra maneuver. I don't see myself using it to sensor echo. I guess I do see it in the right circumstance of, oh, I can echo out of your arc and you're still going to be in mine. So yeah, let's do that. But am I really going to spend 2 more rounds, 1 to re-enable, 1 to perform another action on this card? Probably not. And the card just feels expensive. So in the right kind of situation, I'm okay with the action discard, even though it's a really expensive card. But yeah, I think end of the day, it's too expensive for what it is, but it does have a cool ability. So overall, the pack, biological technology still holds up in my mind. Some of the weapons are just expensive. The captain's nice, um, expensive but nice, and the named ship is again nice. So I want to think this is the one. Alpha and beta you can still get. Omega was hideously overpriced because it was a booster. But if you can find this one, I definitely say get it, play it, because it's cool. I like at least a third of the pack, and I find it reasonable and interesting. So, um, all right. Hey, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. And until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.